Hi and welcome to the Jem Hawkes YouTube channel. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. For the tutorial here on YouTube today, we're going to do something completely different. Now, I'm not going to be doing Monty Python impressions. We're going to be looking at one of my small collection of silver spoons. Over the years, I've invested in just a handful of little pieces. This one cost about £7.50, something like that, and he's a little bit wonky in the middle. So I wondered if I could turn that little antique spoon into a beautiful silver ring. So without any real experience in silversmithing, aside from a course I did well over a decade ago, I'm going to have a go at turning this little silver spoon into a wearable piece of jewellery. We're going to head out today to my garage, which is where my small workbench resides, and we're going to see if I can make this happen or if I'm going to do something despicable to this little antique and crack it. But let's give it a go. So I hope that you'll enjoy watching with me. I know I'm excited and quite frankly terrified. So welcome to the garage, little corner down here, which is where I do my heavy stuff. And just a couple of quick things that I would want to say to anybody who's having a go at anything like this. Safety first. So I've got some goggles, I've got some gloves, and if you are using certain chemicals, you will need breathing apparatus as well. So why don't we take a look at what's on the alternative board, and then we'll crack on with potentially destroying this spoon. So I've just given our spoon, our brave little spoon, a polish in the sink with just some regular dish soap or washing up liquid, just to get off any residue that's easy to remove. Now I'm going to take some polishing cloth. I'm using a Silvo wadding type of polish, but you can use whichever really, I suppose, works for you. And we're just going to see if we can lift some of that tarnish away. So you can see the ick coming off on the cloth wadding already. So I'm going to give that a bit of just a cleanse to make sure that when we anneal this spoon, there's nothing icky in the way that will detract from how the metal reacts. So I'm not overly worried about this from an aesthetic point of view, but I just want to make sure that if anything goes wrong, it's not because I missed a step. So let's give that a really nice clean, just to make sure it lifts off any ick. And then I'll dip that in some clean water and polish it with a little jewellery polishing cloth so that it's nice and soft and it doesn't scratch that surface any more than it's already been scratched. So you can see it's lifting that ook away. It's just over 100 years old, this little one. So in a second I'll just give that another quick wash and a dry, and then we'll move on to anneal it, I think. So I'm going to see if I can just get this to go a little bit red, just to soften that up. I don't want it to go cherry red. I'm looking to get it nice and warm so that we can work it with a little bit more flexibility. I'm not going to concentrate the heat too much on one area because I don't want it to melt. That's getting red already, so I think that's enough. Do make sure you play safe when playing with fire. So I'm going to very carefully yoink this off the heatproof mat and into some plain water to quench it. You can tell I haven't done this in a long time. So I'm just going to take that off the screen and then I'll move the block out of the way. So this tiny bit of silver will quench to cold really, really quickly. What I'm going to do now is pop it in some pickle for a little while to try and get that black off. So I'm just going to dip it in there, move it around a little bit and let that rest in the warm pickle for a little while. So with pickle you need to be careful what kind of tweezers you're going to use. So let's just let that rest and see if we can get some of that blackness caused by the fire. So once it's been pickled and I've given it a neutralising rinse, I've just given it a very quick rub over so that we can see it's nice and silver again. Before I go any further, I'm going to see if I can just straighten this central bit out with the world's oldest nylon jaw pliers. No idea if this is going to help or not, but I'm just going to very softly see if I can get that to straighten up a tiny bit. I'm sure there are antique restorers all over thinking, what is she doing? Honestly, I don't know. That's why I thought I'd share this experience with you, just to see what happened. I don't think I've overly made much of a difference there, to be honest. I'm used to working with wire, and wire kind of does what I want it to when I tell it to. So another thing that we could try perhaps is a little bit of fabric and a nylon hammer. Let's just see if we can improve that ever so slightly. So this is just a little bit of leftover fabric from my box. This is the point that I'm actually most afraid of the spoon just snapping. So let's have a go. Not much difference, unfortunately. This is why it's an exploration video. Do I know what I'm doing? No, I'm not. Not 100% sure. So let's get that block out of the way. And we're now going to try to bend this spoon into a ring. What can I say? It could all go horribly wrong. So I've got a really ancient pair of ring bending pliers. No idea if it's going to be man enough for the job. And if it isn't, let's see if we can get a ring bending tool that's starting to dink the bowl in the opposite direction, which is what I want. I want it to have a little bit of a groove up the middle. What I'm imagining in my mind's eye is that the handle will wrap around over the top. So I've got to bend the spoon bowl backwards. And as I say, I might need to go and get myself a ring bending tool. That's gone over the cusp now, so we're part of the way there. Now moving on to the neck, a little bit concerned here. I'm just trying to centralise that in those ring bending pliers, and very, very gently, very, very terrifiedly, I'm going to see if I can start getting that to curve round. We're getting somewhere. It's far from perfect, but I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you are too. So let's go to the other end and push that through those pliers to start getting a nice curve. And I'm hoping that this will wrap over that spoon bowl. So little by little, I'm just nibbling that along, pushing a little bit more of the handle through at a time, showing you the progress so you can see I'm not just sat there doing nothing. Let's get this to move around a little bit more and see what we can come up with. So there is going to be that little kink that I was unable to fix. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but this is an exploratory video. Watch me break an antique kind of thing. So little by little, very, very gently. What I need to do now is to just make sure that that goes over the top. So I need to just gently draw that back a little bit and start moving that spoon bowl underneath. So if I just get that to hold in place for a second and then start putting some more curve, it should move underneath in theory. So I need to work on the form and shape of it, but was I able to turn this spoon into a ring? Kind of. Let's go a little bit more, and then I might get my old steel mandrel out and see if I can get some nicer shaping on there. Little by little. Well, do you know what? I'm actually at this stage just happy that it hasn't cracked in any way. What kind of size is that? Huge. So I'm going to keep going with that. And in a couple of minutes, I think I'm going to grab my mandrel and see if I can shrink that size down a little bit more, feeling a little bit confident, a little bit more confident, not too confident, certainly not overconfident, now that I've got the tail over the top of the back of that bowl. So you would probably need a couple of different sizes of ring bending pliers, but these are the ones that I've had for, well, ever, frankly. So let's see if we can find a mandrel. And let's just push that a little bit closer to where we want to go. And then I will probably try to tap that out a little bit with the nylon pliers, the nylon hammer. Let's see if I can get that a little bit tighter first. Just little by little moving that around. Chosen the hottest day of the year to do this, and there's no aircon in my garage, naturally enough. So let's just see if I can get that a little bit tighter with the bending pliers. Tighten that size up slightly. As a spoon ring, it's functional. Is it beautiful? No. What I'm going to do in a minute is probably polish that out a little bit and try to reduce it down slightly. So I'm just going to try and straighten it up a little bit and try and make it a tiny bit smaller because I'm never going to be able to sell it, let's be honest. But what I wouldn't mind doing is being able to wear it. So the handle is slightly on the wonk to the other side. So I'm just going to flip that over and see if I can't address that. Size-wise, I still need to reduce that slightly, but what I don't want to do is lose access to those hallmarks inside the ring. So I may end up wearing it on my thumb. So I'm just going to tap a few more times to try and shrink that down a little bit, and then I will give it a polish. Am I a professional metalsmith? No, absolutely not. So I'm just going to grab some wet and dry and just take any marks off that I've created around the edge until it feels nice and smooth. If you're a professional metalsmith, you'd be going through the grits on this, I'm sure. What I'm trying to do today is step outside of my comfort zone, do something that I just had a bit of a whim and a wheeze to try, and just kind of prove a concept as to whether or not it's something that I can do. What I would probably be best doing is researching how one is supposed to do this. But hey, what we've got today is a video following my experiences in having a go. So I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and smooth. Size-wise, I'm happy with it. Shape-wise, I'm happy with it. I know it's far from perfect, but actually, for me, I just wanted to prove a concept and to have a bit of a play. So I'm going to give it a polish next. So I'm going to add a little bit of polishing compound to a nice soft mop. And then we'll see if we can make this look a little bit nicer. I'm going to spend some time now making sure that I've got that evenly coated in the polishing compound and then just cleaning that off. Is it perfect? Oh my goodness gracious me, so far from perfect. Is it something I've enjoyed? Yeah, actually, I really have enjoyed this. It's been stepping right outside of my comfort zone. I usually make with wire and gemstones, and today, risking this lovely little antique salt spoon from about 1909 has been a bit of a thrill. Have I learnt anything? Honestly, sometimes it's good to step out of your comfort zone. That's my takeaway from this. Am I going to be proud of wearing it? Yes. Is it saleable? Absolutely not. Good grief. I've marked it in places with my polishing drill because I'm not an expert with this and I haven't actually done it for about 10 to 12 years. Have I had fun though? Absolutely. And I hope that you've enjoyed watching as well.